And streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Questions arise over unusual arrest in a coastal community. And a bold plan could reshape the future of a troubled region, but at what cost? Plus, price changes could be coming to the grocery store. What policies are now being rolled back by the Trump administration?
And yes, I know it's been a bit of a warm week for late November, just before Thanksgiving, but don't you worry, we have rain coming back to the forecast today, tomorrow, and some interesting developments for Thanksgiving. All that in the weather coming up.
Engadedo softball and Texas A&M baseball make some big announcements. I'll tell you both of these later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Friday. We're all excited for the rain.
Oh, yeah.
I know it can be a little stressful, though. So, Parker, do we need to brace ourselves for flooding conditions?
You know, I don't think so,
actually. It's been dry for so long,
yes.
So when it rains, it's not going to immediately soak.
Yeah, that is actually a very correct and acute observation, Carolina, but no, I'm not thinking we're going to have any flooding concerns over the weekend time. We're going to be looking for maybe an inch or less, I'm thinking, in terms of rainfall, especially with the heavier stuff, to which we're going to look at all that later, because first things first, we actually already have a little bit of rain out there this morning. Looking at your radar, you can see we have a few isolated to scattered showers forming out there off of an outflow boundary that's pushing very slowly south. You can see how slowly it's moving just southward through our Crossroads counties. But looking at where all the rain is, you can see, like I said, pretty light to moderate in nature, and most of it is happening in our eastern counties, but a little bit of it happening along Highway 77 going up north towards Hallisville. So if you're going to be traveling this morning, make sure to look out for rain. You might see a little bit of it out there before you see more of it out there later today, because here is the cool front and where all the heavier rain is going to be coming our way later this afternoon. And like I said, we'll look at that later, because before that gets here, you know it, we're looking at another warm and humid one out there. 71 in Victoria County, temperatures in the city 73, and Dew Point matching that just about, bringing us another round of patchy light fog this morning. So stay safe if you see that. Otherwise, sitting your kiddos at the door this morning, pack them that umbrella, because I think we'll have some rain later today. Those details next.
A group of men are frustrated after they were arrested in Port Lavaca earlier this week. It's not the arrest itself, but what they were arrested for that's causing a stir in the community. One of the men, 17-year-old Moses Thu, claims the group should have been given tickets, and the arrests were an overstep. Thu says he and a friend were heading to a nearby park to test the sound of the friend's speakers. The friend was pulled over, and after a short time, the officer told Moses he was free to go. When Moses started walking away, he was then placed in handcuffs and arrested for walking on the wrong side of the road.
They came and ran like walked and grabbed me hard, aggressively, and they just put me in handcuffs, said that we're arresting you for walking on the wrong side of the road. I was like, all right. I'm feeling mad, but I'm feeling sad at the same time, because I don't know, I never got locked up like that for the adult jail, so that's why I'm feeling sad about that.
In a strange turn of events, as our reporter was talking with Thu after his on-camera interview, 2 Calhoun County Sheriff's deputies showed up and arrested him again. The Calhoun County Sheriff says Thursday's arrest came after a new warrant was issued for an offense Thu reportedly committed as a juvenile. Meanwhile, his friends were arrested for minor things like parking the wrong way and a passenger not wearing a seatbelt, sparking concern among Port Lavaca residents. More details are emerging about the Trump administration's plan to end the war in Ukraine. A draft of the 28-point peace proposal would require land concessions and limits to the size of Ukraine's military. Many of the ideas in the plan have been rejected in previous negotiations by Ukraine and European officials and would be seen as concessions to Russia. But U.S. officials say any final agreement would require concessions from both sides. Now to the U.S. economy and a new move to bring down grocery prices. Here's ABC's Andrea Fuigi as the president is rolling back one of his key policies.
This morning, the Trump administration reversing course on more of the president's tariffs, now lifting the 40% tariff on products from Brazil, including beef and coffee, which have seen some of the steepest price increases this year. Coffee up 41%, beef up 12% to a record high.
I think it's a step in the right direction, but the main, I guess, the Super Bowl of the trade war is still with China, so we need to keep an eye on that situation too.
Just last week, the White House also rolling back tariffs on more than 200 food items, mainly produce, from 4 Central and South American countries. As many Americans continue to grapple with the cost of living, Vice President Vance is urging Americans to be patient, insisting the administration's economic policies are working.
As much progress as we've made, it's going to take a little bit of time for every American to feel that economic boom, which we really do believe is coming.
The market getting good news about the job market yesterday, but stocks plunging. Investors are worried that the good news about jobs will make the Federal Reserve less likely to cut interest rates next month.
If economic data is really strong, it kind of lessens the case for rate cuts. And so if the market doesn't get what it wants, it tends to throw a tantrum.
Investors also increasingly worried about the so-called artificial intelligence bubble, even after chipmaker Nvidia reported blockbuster profits.
Meanwhile, some relief is coming for farmers hit hard by the trade war. The Trump administration now says it will announce an aid package for farmers next month. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
The U.S. Labor Department's delayed September jobs report is out. Bureau of Labor Statistics say the U.S. economy added about 119,000 jobs in September. Additionally, average hourly earnings increased 0.2% for the month and 3.8% from a year ago. However, the report also said the unemployment rate edged higher to 4.4%. That's the highest it's been since October of 2021. Airlines expect to see a record number of passengers over the Thanksgiving holiday. More than 31 million passengers will take to the skies, an all-time high. U.S. airlines will carry 2.8 million passengers per day. To meet demand, air carriers will add 45,000 more seats daily. The 2 busiest air travel days will be Sunday, November 30th and Monday, December 1st. For more local news, weather, and sports, come to crossroadstoday.com. It's now 6:37 on our Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A growing conflict over a new development, what DeWitt County residents are rallying against.
Growing backlash after President Trump calls 6 Democratic lawmakers, all veterans, traitors deserving the death penalty. I'm Nicole D'Antonio with the response from the White House.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say that rain and a cool front are back in the forecast. So coming up next, we'll take a look and see just when all that gets here.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria Symphony. We learn about an artisan market. We hear from the Salvation Army and the VISD Education Foundation.
Yeah, we'll take them for anywhere. You want to come? People want to come from Corpus Christi or Houston, wherever. We'll take you from everywhere. Come here, Roger and Victoria, on February 7th.
Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Friday. I hope you all are excited for the weekend because coming away for the first time in a long time, we've been kind of preaching about it all week long, and also last week, it's rain. And actually looking at your radar once again this morning, we also still have a little bit of rain out there this morning. All of it, I should say, is pretty light to moderate in nature. No heavy rain or no thunderstorms out there just yet, but you can see still slowly moving south with that outflow boundary out ahead of the cool front still moving south. But that's going to be with us for the rest of this morning, providing us with maybe a 20% chance to see a few spotty showers in the morning time before that rises. And you're going to see that here in a second. Because on your future tracker, you're going to also see lots of clouds out there today, especially in the morning time. I think will be mostly cloudy up until 9 or 10 a.m. because after that, going all the way through the rest of the afternoon, we'll be looking partly cloudy. And with the partly cloudiness taking shape, that's going to allow for daytime heating to commence going into the afternoon time, which will heat us up a little bit. We'll look at that also later. But what I'm trying to say is the daytime heating is going to allow for more showers to form this afternoon. I'm thinking from 1 to 5 p.m. we're going to pick up that rain chance to 30%, 30 for, like I said, a few isolated scattered showers around the area. Also with that cool front very slowly moving southward throughout the rest of today and tomorrow morning. But from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., maybe 10 p.m., we're going to rise that chance a little bit more to 40%, 40 for I think a few more scattered showers and storms than what the computer is spitting out right here before I think that should all die off at around 10 going into the overnight. But if you don't see rain in that time frame, don't you worry because here comes the cool front and it's going to bring bring us another round for rain and a much better chance for rain. 70% is going to be our chance for rain tomorrow morning after 3 a.m. You can see here's 5, 6 in the morning, 7 Saturday morning, 8, 9, and 10 a.m. And after 10 a.m. for the rest of the day, tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to clear up our clouds, looking partly cloudy, and same with our rain chances. And if you see rain today, looking at maybe half an inch or less, not too much, but tomorrow, much better chances with maybe an inch or so. And much better chances for rain next week, along with 2 fronts to make Thanksgiving cool. And that's next.
Yesterday, Ganado softball announced that they're going to have their 2A Division I ring ceremony on December 18th at 6:30 p.m. for winning their first title in program history. The Mains last year beat the Riesel Indians 5-4 to clinch their first double softball championship. And the ceremony is going to be held at the Harry Helfrich Recreation Center outside of Edna. The doors are going to open at 6 p.m. with meals going to be laid up for everybody at 6:30 p.m. And then officially the ceremony will start there at 7 p.m. out there in Edna. Now over to Texas A&M Victoria baseball. Last week we highlighted the softball team's full schedule. Let's look at the baseball team as they revealed it a couple days ago. And again, they're going to open their season January 23rd and 24th at Texas Wesleyan. Then they're going to have their home opener for Houston Tillotson on January 27th. And then they begin conference play on February 20th at Our Lady of the Lake. So there's some of the big ones. But if you want to see their full schedules, go to crossroadstoday.com/sports. And this is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. Now to the latest fallout over the president's comments. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington following Trump's suggestion that members of Congress should face the death penalty.
This morning, President Trump facing backlash from both parties after calling 6 Democratic members of Congress traitors and accusing them of seditious behavior punishable by death.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
It comes after the lawmakers, all veterans of the military or U.S. intelligence, released this video reminding military service members that they should not obey illegal orders.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
Democratic Senator Mark Kelly explaining the video's message.
He has talked about sending troops into more U.S. cities. He's talked about invoking the Insurrection Act. In 2020, he went to his Secretary of Defense and he asked the question, he said, can't we just shoot these protesters in the legs? That is an example of an illegal order.
The president firing off a number of social media posts saying those lawmakers should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand and an example must be set. And later reposting a message saying, quote, hang them, George Washington would. Lawmakers from both parties now criticizing the president's comments.
This puts all of our lives in jeopardy. Democrats in the Congress are on the phone with their chiefs of staff, beefing up our security for this weekend and next week, because the president has a lot of unhinged supporters.
That kind of rhetoric isn't good. It stirs up people among us who may not be stable.
At the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt asked to clarify the president's comments.
Does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. To suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do, and they should be held accountable.
The Democrats who appeared in that video released a joint statement condemning the president's comments and saying their oath is to the Constitution and following lawful orders. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
A battle is brewing in DeWitt County over a planned commercial poultry operation. A group of DeWitt County neighbors say they're fighting to protect their land, water, and way of life. On Thursday, families gathered to push back. Residents packed into a meeting off Leesville Road, all with the same message. They don't want commercial chicken houses in their neighborhood. Residents worry the operations will bring pollution, strong odors, and a strain on their groundwater.
All that manure, chicken manure, is gonna, or any wastewater from there, gonna run down in our tanks. And we don't know what it's gonna cause, if it's gonna cause our animals to die or what, so I really like my neighbors and the people around me, and I want to do as much as I can for the people around me.
Many at the meeting signed a petition opposing the project. Some estimate the chicken house could require thousands of gallons of water per day, something neighbors fear could threaten their own supply. If you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. It's now 6:46 on our Friday morning, still to come on Sunrise. A subtle turnaround with big implications for home buyers and sellers alike. Okay, it's time to celebrate those birthdays. Happy birthday to Jake. Happy birthday, Jake. Many blessings for a wonderful day of love from Mom.
Oh, happy birthday, Jake or Jacob. And also happy birthday to Domingo. Happy birthday, Domingo, with lots of love from Mom and Dad, Dominga and Dela, Sister Bianca, and all your family who love you very much. May God continue to bless you and keep reaching for the stars.
All right, and happy birthday to Bryson. Happy 8th birthday, Bryson. We love you so much from Mom, Dad, Uncle Kevin, and Sarah.
Happy birthday, Bryson. And also happy birthday to Yolanda. Happy birthday to Yolanda from her sons, daughter, and grandchildren. We love you so much.
Happy birthday to Haley, the happiest of birthdays to my beautiful granddaughter, Haley. May God bless you with many more happy and healthy years.
Happy birthday, Haley, and also happy birthday to Robert. Happy birthday to my son, Robert, and that's from Mom.
Happy birthday to Zakai. Happy 4th birthday. Hope you have an amazing day. Love, Mom, Grandma, Papa, Jayla, and Ashton.
Aw, happy birthday, Zakai. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
It's now 6:48 on our Friday morning. I want to wish Colby, Peggy, and Freddie a very happy birthday, and a happy birthday to you if you're celebrating one today or maybe this weekend.
That's right. Happy birthday, y'all. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Relaxation meets laughter in the Crossroads' newest wellness trend, Goat Yoga. Watch as yoga lovers find peace and plenty of giggles, striking poses alongside some playful, mischievous goats.
And it's relaxing. You're out in nature. You're playing with the animals. You can just really relax and kind of let the stress of everyday life go.
Join Amaya Norman for Goat Yoga, a 25 News Now Extra.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. Once again, I really hope y'all are excited for some rain because it's something that we desperately need, and it's something that we have not seen, I'm sure you know this, in quite a long time. And with us not seeing rain in quite a while, the drought monitor has been updated across Texas, and yesterday morning has been updated. And you can see our northern counties are still under that extreme level 4 out of 5 drought. Victoria and central counties along Highway 59 are under a severe drought, level 3, and most everyone else is going to be under that level 2 out of 5 moderate drought. So definitely need some rain coming away, and I think finally we have that in the forecast. But something else we need, because it's late November, we need some cool weather, y'all. And I think that's coming away next week. So y'all get excited and make sure your jackets are washed because Thanksgiving Day is looking a little bit cool out there, with highs dropping down to the 60s. I'm thinking 67 degrees on Thanksgiving Day Thursday, with low temperatures in the morning starting out a bit chilly in the 40s. So I think, yeah, make sure you got your jackets washed. But before we cool down with all those cold fronts coming next week, we've got another warm one, y'all. Y'all probably already knew that. Looking for a high of 88 today. Low temperature tonight, 67 degrees as well. And that's going to be 1 degree below our record high and 16 above our average temperature this time of year. You can see everyone else about the same, highs in the upper 80s today, and tomorrow after the front, highs are dropping down to only the low 80s. And if that's once again not warm enough or not cool enough, next week we've got not 1 but 2 low pressure systems bringing us some cooler weather for Thanksgiving, and all that's coming up next.
Lower mortgage rates help boost October's existing home sales in the U.S. despite rising unemployment and high home prices. The National Association of Realtors says home sales rose 1.2% last month, beating some forecasts. Year-over-year sales were up 1.7%, and first-time buyers made up 32% of sales in October. That's up from 27% a year ago. U.S. shoppers are expected to rely more on credit cards this holiday season. A survey by credit bureau TransUnion found 42% of consumers say they plan to use credit cards for their shopping between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. That's up from 38% last year. The TSA is proposing an $18 fee for passengers without a real ID. If it's enacted, travelers without the correct documentation would have their identity verified at biometric kiosk before they're permitted to pass through security. An $18 fee would be used to pay for the new technology operating these kiosks. It's unclear when the new fees and kiosks could be implemented. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Pieces falling into place in a major plane crash probe. More answers expected soon. The National Transportation Safety Board has issued its preliminary report into the crash of a UPS plane at a Kentucky airport. According to the NTSB, the left engine and left pylon detached during takeoff. Crews were able to recover parts of the left pylon where they found evidence of fatigue, cracks, and areas of overstress failure. The final report will be released later once the full investigation is complete. A new study from Harvard has found a link between nighttime light exposure during sleeping hours and heart disease. Scientists say artificial light exposure at night from devices or household light sources can cause circadian disruption, a known risk factor for adverse heart outcomes. Avoiding light exposure at night may benefit your health, putting you at lower risk for cardiovascular disease. American car companies will soon be required to test vehicle safety using female dummies. The female dummies are required by the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. Recent studies show women are 73% more likely to be seriously injured in a head-on crash compared with men in the same crash, and are 17% more likely to be killed than their male counterparts in the same seats. We want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at our forecast with Parker. Some cloudy skies this morning.
Yeah, we're starting out with a little bit of a cloudy sunrise this morning, and actually it's so cloudy out there that you can't even see the sun, which I promise it's actually, the sun is like right here right now. But we also have a little bit of rain out there. We'll look at that radar here in a second, because before we get there, right here, if you look really closely at the base of the clouds, this camera is looking east at the rain. So right here is a big old cloud of rain. Like I said, look at that radar right after this, because we're starting out the day 73 degrees in Victoria. That is a degree off from our dew point, bringing us that high 96, nearly 100% humidity, so stay safe if you see any kind of patchy fog out there. Otherwise, that'll burn off like it usually does over the next hour. And like I said, we also have a little bit of rain out there. Looking at that radar, you can see it's just 2 hours east of Victoria. Nice little line of light to moderate showers happening coming up towards Edna, probably in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So if you're in Edna, y'all get ready for that. But otherwise, everyone else get ready for today, rain today, because we got chances at 30% in the afternoon. Port Lavaca getting up to 86 for the high today, and a bit warmer in Victoria. I'm thinking 88, with most of our rain activity in the afternoon and evening hours, with another shot tomorrow morning. And then next week, weather's really changing, looking nice for Thanksgiving.
All right, well, thank y'all for being with us this morning. Join Shauna, Dawn, Maclovio, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great start to your Thanksgiving week.
Great start to your Thanksgiving week.